A good Friday to one and all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. Welcome to another episode of Sometimes the Old Man is Right. As usual, I am your host, Lamont Ferguson, playing the role of the old man on land this time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. I'm happy because you heard that. I said a good Friday, which means, I'm taping on a Friday. All order has been restored, at least for now. How you doing? It's been a while. What's the good word? Welcome to episode 12. Moving on up. As you are aware that, yes, I'm back at home, back on land, taking a little brief respite from the ship life. It's not many days at all, maybe 10 or 11 days, and then back out. But so far, it's nice to be home. It's nice to be on land. It's nice to not have the rocking and the construction that takes place on a ship. But I am looking forward to getting back, looking forward to returning to the home line of Holland America. And that'll be the Mexican Riviera for about 5 weeks, and then out to Hawaii and then back home. So it'll be nice. The break is nice, but it also will be nice to get back to work. And then we'll see what happens after that. Anyway, I don't have a lot on this particular episode. There's not a lot that's gotten me fired up. Not a lot been happening since I've been able to get home. It's back to returning to walking Olivia to school. I don't know what the rock situation is. I haven't heard much on the rocks. So in case you were wondering what the rock collecting situation is, I don't really know. But all is well. She seems to be happy that I've returned, and I'm happy that I've returned and been able to, you know the story, help her get across the street. You know what? Again, I've tried to stay away from the TV. It's a point now where I may have to stay away from just people in general, because it seems that people have just gone crazy. The COVID situation still seems to be out of control unless you put yourself in a bubble, because otherwise it's just gloom and doom. I had posted saying, hey, I've not turned on the television for whatever it was that I was out, 3 weeks that I was out. I wonder what type of fear has been conjured up by the media, and I've yet to take a look. I know on social media, just from news headlines put up and other things, it's still the same. It is what it is. People conjuring up fear, people losing their minds, people being angry. So I've taken 4 flights, and I'm a little disappointed, even though, well, I take it back because I only have to get on one more flight. And that's the flight at the end in January to come back home, because it's the ship in Holland leaves out of San Diego. So I'm just going to take the train down there to catch that ship, so I don't have to hop on a flight. So hopefully I'm not jinxing myself, but I've been on, 4 flights, and I've not seen any of the shenanigans and nonsense that keeps appearing on the news. Yes, yesterday there was some guy that just is right in the face of a flight attendant talking about how he's going to knock people out and stuff, and I don't know. This was a black dude. There was a point where he was like, oh, this is white people acting crazy. But no, it's not. This is everybody acting crazy. I've seen black people. I've seen white people. Well, I take it back. Maybe it's not everybody, because I really have only seen black people and white people, come to think of it, that are losing their minds when told, wear a mask. But then there was the couple that got kicked off the flight, and the baby, and I don't know whatever it was. It didn't seem like they were in the wrong. So it seems that flight attendants and the people have all had enough. I don't I don't even know how to fix this problem. I don't know why I would think that it's my job to fix it, but I don't even know how to fix it. Unless maybe we have the police and the flight attendants switch jobs. That's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, I don't know. People won't calm down. This thing isn't going anywhere. Good grief. I was tested 3 times in a matter of 3 days, and I'm fully vaccinated with a booster. So I can understand the frustration because I'm going to have to go get 2 more tests. A test 48 hours before getting to the ship, and a test is before I walk onto the ship. So I know I'm close to switching sides. And not based on what the lunatics are on the other side, because I'm not into the, hey, this is taking my freedom, the mass. No, how do I put this? I'm not sure of what exactly is going on. Everything seems to be an overreaction and a matter of redundancy. And then the media is just acting crazy with fear mongering. And here's the thing about it. It's what are we supposed to do? That's really the question. What are we supposed to do? We get vaccinated? All right, cool. We got vaccinated. Get the first shot, the second shot. Cool. Okay, booster. All right. There's quite a few people. I don't know what the percentages are, but quite a few people who got vaccinated also then got the booster shot. What else are we supposed to do? It's a point of stop yelling at us. Stop being in our face about, oh, how horrible this is. We did what we were told to do. What else are we supposed to do? What more do you want from us? You're continually yelling at the people that aren't vaccinated, because I guess the number's like 40%. 40% of people just not vaccinated at all. And by their own choice of just saying, hey, I'm not going to get vaccinated. All right, fine. How much longer do we need to yell? How much longer do we need to yell? I don't think they're budging. I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm at a point where I'm like, hey, stop catering to them. Hey, you know all the stuff is out there. You know everything is out there that's available to help stem the tide of this. You don't want it? Okay, cool. Then you figure out how to deal with it. The rest of us are moving on. That's how I feel at this point. Because, like I said, if my nose gets prodded and poked one more time, is this why Michael Jackson had a nose job? Was he ahead of this thing? It just makes no sense. I need things to make sense, and this right now makes no sense. Stop yelling at us. We follow the rules. Yell at those other people. And your yelling isn't getting anywhere. So how about we just stop yelling and just let them deal with it how they can? I don't know what else is that I looked at that got me as fired up. The vaccine thing. I was really fired up while I was on the ship about it because of the idea that I didn't want to go conspiracy theory on this thing because I don't, I believe it's a thing, obviously. And, it's harming people and people are dying, but like I said, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. What more can we be doing? We can't convince those people on the other side. They're dug in. So either you move on without them and tell them, hey, deal with it how you may, or we sit in this. It's been 2 years, or almost 2 years. And I don't think anyone thought this was going to still be 2 years that we're dealing with this. Now, once it gets to the point of 2 years, you think, well, how much longer is this going to go? Is this just going to be a forever thing? That this is just going to keep on going? Because if that's the case, then we definitely need to move on. I went to see Kevin Hart last night. My wife had a birthday. She has a birthday every year. I think we all do. I think even dead people do, really, when you think about it. They all have birthdays And so we went to go see Kevin Hart at one of the clubs that I work at. And it was very delightful and very enjoyable. And I've said this many times, I'm not sure what the backlash is, because there is a little bit of backlash against Kevin Hart, and I'm not really sure who the entities are that are most of the backlash about it. But I've always been a Kevin Hart fan. I've always liked his work ethic. He's a comic. He, at his core, is a comic, and I, being a comic for 40 years, a lifetime, I respect that. And his mindset about it, if you've listened to interviews about how he goes about it and what the point is that made him push forward and the people that kind of pushed him forward, as a comic, as a working comic, you can't do anything but respect it. He works the grind. He grinds. Yeah, he's in a lot of everything, but so is he not good in everything? He's Kevin Hart. There's a certain thing about Kevin Hart that you go, hey, I want to just see Kevin Hart, be Kevin Hart. And this is what happens with actors or people at some point where the backlash comes because they're like, oh, he's always this in every movie. He's who he is. And nobody told you. It's not like he showed up in your movie that you didn't know was going on. And then you're like, oh, he came in and Kevin Harted all over the place. No, you knew he was in that movie. So what are you complaining about? So props to Kevin Hart. The more I see him in things, I'm like, yeah, good for him. Good for him working and just being dedicated to the craft and goal-oriented. But it was really nice. Looks like he's working on the new hour, which is going to be very good. It was good last night. And it's once he gets it more fine-tuned, it's going to be even better. So I'm enough with the backlash on Kevin Hart. How about you do something? All the people that are complaining, why don't you do something? Do half of the work that man does and then get back to me. Because right now it's a lot of comics who you wouldn't want to see and are forgettable. So stop it. It's enough with your nonsense. I saw a news story that, this is weird, that Michael Strahan is going into space. It's weird because they put him as a journalist. They go, Michael Strahan is going to where very few journalists have gone before. Like, is Michael Strahan a journalist? I have a different criteria for journalist, and Michael Strahan does not complete that criteria. He's a personality who happens to be on a show that may have something to do with journalism. But when I think of journalist, I think of someone that is a reporter that is beating the sidewalk or beating the path of being a reporter and finding the story and getting your sources and stuff like. Is that what Michael Strahan does? Or does he just sit there and interview people? Because I don't know a lot of journalists that also have time to show up on a football show every week and host $100,000 pyramid. I don't see a lot of journalists having that much free time. So Michael Strahan is going into space, and then technically, I guess he'll be an astronaut. I said before, we gotten out of hand with this. Words don't mean anything anymore. So he'll be an astronaut. William Shatner's an astronaut. And whoever those other executives and billionaires are also astronauts. And now we need a different word for astronaut, apparently, is what's happening. It's weird how what we do, and I'm not sure if it's an American thing or people that speak English thing, but we twist the words and then the words don't have the meaning that they used to. Like the word literally now doesn't mean literally. It means figuratively and literally. Because people have messed the English language up so badly. But now, we're all astronauts. I'm just waiting for it to be lowered to what qualifies as being an astronaut. Was Michael Jordan an astronaut? He had some good hang time. Or is it because he didn't leave the atmosphere? Maybe. Dominique. What about Daryl Griffith, Dr. Duncanstein? He was up there. What is the line in Incredibles when everyone's special, then no one will be? That's kind of what it is. When everyone is an astronaut, then no one will be an astronaut. I saw another bizarre news story. I may even have to just look this one up while I'm talking. Because I read the headline, and then I thought, no, this isn't saying what it says. I must have missed something. And this is, here it is. Here it is right here. So there's a camel beauty pageant. I didn't know that those three words could go together. I mean, beauty pageant, obviously we knew those two words, but then it's almost like one of those things where they say, add a word to this phrase and ruin it. That's kind of what this is. We added the word camel to beauty pageant, and now it's distorted a beauty pageant. I didn't think they were actually talking about actual camels. That's the point about it. I didn't believe that, but they are. They're talking about actual camels, like which camel is the prettiest camel. I don't know if the camels have now banded together and don't like the objectification of camels. They're like, hey, I'm more than just a pretty spitting face, and yeah, over here, my eyes are over here. You're always looking at my humps. Okay, that was kind of funny. I was going to apologize for that, but that's actually kind of funny. It's all right. I'm sorry that I was going to apologize for that. But the reason is that they're getting kicked out of the contest, the pageant, because they are using Botox and getting facelifts on the camels. Yeah, you heard me. People are giving the camels Botox and facelifts to make them more attractive. But to make them more attractive to whom? See, here's the problem. The reason why that they're getting Botox, people are giving them Botox and facelifts, is because they're judging by human eye standards. Like, the judges of the contest should be camels. And then you'll know what is attractive to other camels. You give a camel Botox or a facelift and then turn it loose amongst other camels. Those other camels are going to be like, what is that? Is that even a camel? We spend so much time putting human thoughts and responses into animals that it's ridiculous. This is one of the things that took place. Hey, my dog needs a vest. My dog needs a coat. Your dog has a coat. Matter of fact, they even call it a coat. But this is people. Do I have to keep talking about how shitty of an invention people are? I saw a thing today about some bikers that were helped by this girl's mom, who's a nurse. There was an accident, and she helped all these bikers who had gotten into an accident. And then the bikers showed up while the girl was serving lemonade or selling lemonade, and they all made a big line to go buy her lemonade. And people are like, oh my goodness, humanity is restored. Thank goodness my faith in humanity has been restored. Really? That's all it took? Was bikers showing up to help the little girl whose mother was a nurse who helped them. That's all it took. Because I don't even know how many of those stories it would take for humanity, my hope in humanity to be restored. First of all, I don't even know if it can be restored because I don't think it was there in the first place. But this is the problem. We get one story and people go, oh, look at that. That makes it so. No, it's one thing. Didn't I say this on the last episode? It's one thing versus the myriad of shitty things done by humans. Do you not understand how math works? You understand how a ledger works? So we're giving the camels Botox and facelifts to make them more attractive to people. And God knows where that's going to go. Because if like, hey, that's a good looking camel, then people are going to take that even more of a step. And now there's going to be some sort of assault case where the camel was so good looking that the dude couldn't resist himself. And it's a dude. Let's not pretend that it's not a dude. It's always a dude because men are idiots and vile. Is there anything other way to put it that men are idiots and vile? Now, I'm not saying that women are any better, but in that case, they're much better. Women aren't doing that nonsense. This has been the roughest season to be a Laker fan. And I've been a Laker fan all my life. But this team, good grief. Was that last episode I was talking about LeBron? I mean, LeBron is still LeBron. But this has nothing to do with just LeBron. This has to do with just the Laker team in general and being a fan. And it's just very frustrating. I've been through some rough times. When Magic retired, there were some rough years as Laker fans, but you found something to be happy about, the team play, and even when Kobe was done. Well, heck, the last few years of Kobe was difficult to watch, but you watched because Kobe was there. And then after that, all the kids, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, all those guys were there, and they weren't winning a lot of games, but you weren't expecting them to win games. This team has 7 Hall of Famers on it. 7, I'm going to say first ballot. Yeah, I don't think anyone's, first ballot. 7 first ballot Hall of Famers on it, and they're 500. And I get that they're old. I get all that other stuff. But it is so frustrating to watch them each and every night where you don't know if they're going to win. They could be up by 20 and you go, yeah, I don't know. Let me see it when all the zeros are up in the fourth quarter, and then we'll know. So it has been frustrating. That has been my other thing that I've been spending my time doing, is sitting there watching the Lakers yelling at the television as usual. That's my thing, The only news stories that I have paid attention to, and like I said, I get them in snippets that come up on social media. This ties into LeBron, is that Kyle Rittenhouse was saying F LeBron James because LeBron was saying that he had crocodile tears when he was on the stand. Now, I didn't watch the interview because I'm not joining in your reindeer games. I'm just not. This may be a point where I just may go to an island and be done. Just give me an internet connection where I could just check news stories a little bit, briefly skim them, and then throw up a podcast. That's really all I want to do. Because I can't get involved with the societal reindeer games of nonsense. Let me get back to the COVID thing real quick. I've seen really good friends of mine, because this COVID thing just kind of, in essence, lose their minds. Just lose their minds. I've got people who couldn't stand Trump, and now they're making excuses for him. I'm like, this is what it took, this thing? Like, And it's not about whether you're pro-Trump or against Trump. It's the idea that you've just switched your mind all of a sudden. And this seems to be the catalyst that pushed people over, is dealing with a bit of adversity that we're dealing with right now. Getting through COVID, if we're ever going to get through it. I don't know. But anyway. But like I said, I'm not playing with the reindeer games. So the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, I just have this to say. If you were to get away with whether you believe that it was self-defense or not, but you took somebody's life, you took two people's lives, you know what you do? You put your head down and you just go on with your life. That's what you do. Put your head down, move forward, and try to be the best person from that point forward that you possibly can be. And do whatever it is you can just to produce a good life. But the fact that this kid is speaking up on interviews and feeling emboldened to, hey, F LeBron James and stuff. Meanwhile, he's, inside, he's like, oh my God, LeBron James knows who I am. This is a red flag. You kill somebody, you go away. And I don't mean that you go away in jail. I'm saying you kill someone, you don't go to jail. In life, you go away. You don't, hey, there's an interview. Yeah, I'm not taking any interviews. You know who even though he didn't kill someone, I give props to? Steve Bartman. Anybody heard anything from Steve Bartman? Nope. Nothing. Steve Bartman was the GOAT of, and not in the positive way, but the GOAT of the World Series curse for the Cubs, because he reached over the railing and got the foul ball that Moises Alou said he was going to catch. But ever since that point, Steve Bartman has not said a single word. He says, I just want to live my life. I say props to that dude. This Kyle Rittenhouse, this George Zimmerman, they can't stay away from a camera. They can't stay away from anything that has publicity associated with it, which kind of tells me that they're bad people at their core. Because if I'm telling you right now, if I had taken someone's life, whether self-defense or not, my head is down and I'm moving forward. I don't care what anybody said about me. Head down, moving forward. So that's all I got to say about that. That was a weird Forrest Gump moment that just took place just now. All right, folks, this is a short one. I just wanted to touch base, catch you up, see what's going on. Next Friday, I'll try to do it all again. Put another one out on Friday. All things Lamont Ferguson can be found at lamontferguson.com. Social media, I'm at TV Funny Man. That's what it is. It's at TV Funny Man. And anything else, do what you can to find out. Don't go looking for that other Lamont Ferguson. You don't get me started. Don't get me. That's my slowly I turn moment that takes place. I greatly appreciate you all for taking the time out of your day to tune in. Truly appreciate it. Don't ever think it's not appreciated. The numbers are climbing, and that's not because of me. That's because of you guys telling a friend to tell a friend who tells somebody else. I thank you. Good on you. Good job. Job well done. I didn't have a lot on this episode. There wasn't a lot that got me fired up because I just spoke to you a few days ago. It's good to be home. I'll take it, as my father say, take it teasy. That's what he'd say. He'd say, take it teasy, because he had an accent. And that's what it always sounded like, he said. Take it teasy. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be taking it teasy. As always, I've got a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions. They could be outlandish. They could be outrageous, as Lionel Richie once said during a award ceremony. You'd have to Google that. And some of them may be crazy. But I'm telling you right now, you gotta trust me on this one. Sometimes the old man is right. I'll see you next week.